Hey, so how do you define love? Alright, so what's the greatest lesson you've learned from a past relationship? Describe the feelings of an orgasm. Yo, welcome to the Raw Dog Show. I'm your host, Mr. Armand Cervantes. Girl, you know that you want this and I can tell by the way you flaunt it. And today, we talking about love. Each episode, we feature an up-and-coming song on love and an always special guest host sharing their unique perspective on love, sex, and relationships. This episode's jam is Sorry by my man, representing all the way from Miami, Florida, Deuce Williams. Make sure to check out the full song at the end of the episode. And today's guest host, we have Dr. Nichole.
Hey, this is Dr. Nichole. I'm 41, circling around 42, and my relationship status is locked down.
And we have Aiden.
Hi, my name's Aiden. I'm 29. I hope that doesn't mean I'm locked in.
Locked in.
I've been in a relationship for almost 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. Depends on who you ask.
Okay. 3. What is it?
Completely depends
on who you
depends
ask.
on who you ask.
All right, beautiful. So glad to have both you two here. I'm excited to learn from both your experiences and pass down wisdom. I will ask you 3 questions today. One on love, one on relationships, and one on sex. So without further ado, let's go in raw. How do you define love?
I personally define it as a state of existence. It is something that people feel, but true love is something that you participate in. It's an active means of relating to another person.
It's that ability to kind of let your guard down and kind of let that person in into the feeling aspect of it. So that emotional aspect of calm or joy or kind of ethereal sense.
Sure. Love is, I like you, and I like you more than I like people that I do like. And I like you differently than those people.
It's good.
Differently is important.
Right? Differently is important.
I hope you don't like all these people like you like me.
We want all these crazy movie, porn, video, trashy novel, self-help versions of love in one person, right? So we want these really engrossing and dynamic things from love. The reality is, sometimes love is awful and it is hard. And you are like, what am I doing? This is nonsense. This is not worth it. And you're just in a place where your emotions, your selfishness, your inability to relate to another person becomes the forefront of the relationship. Something that is very important in my life is servant leadership. Whether it be in a work setting, in a group setting, even in a friendship or relationship setting. For me, acts of service don't have to be huge and grandiose. It is, hey, do you need help with this thing? And then you help out. And it's that quality time that you spend together performing whatever action it is.
Like she forgot her coffee yesterday. If you know anything about Dr. Nichole, she can't live without her coffee. Like, I think intravenously. But
and wine.
Yeah, it's true too. And gin.
I know which would mean vodka, but no, we're on a gin. It's a longitudinal study on the different varieties of gin.
Some other time. No, but she went to work and I had a late day, and so she's like, I forgot my coffee, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go work out, but do you want me to bring it to you? Well, I forgot my headphones too. I'm like, yeah, I got you. So on my way to my workout, I brought her coffee, brought her the headphones, and I basically saved her 9:15 meeting.
She
really
100% did.
Damn.
Yeah. She did, because if I hadn't had my coffee before then, everybody was going to die.
She gets cranky with that coffee.
Right, which is, for me, that was a huge thing. Like, that was, like, super meaningful because it was something that she was like, yeah, no, I got you. Inside, I'm like, how lucky am I? Like,
All right, so next question. What's the greatest lesson you've learned from your past relationships? So basically, what is giving you this definition of love from your past?
it's complicated. I was married for 16 years before this.
Holy shit. All right, keep going. That's a long time. That's a long marriage.
And for a good portion of it, I was actually not present. So I did a lot of traveling in that relationship. So I was gone for, in some instances, years at a time with very limited contact back home. So when I did get back home, and now all of a sudden I had to live with a person, it was different because we were very different people. And so it ended. It is what it is. And I did what probably most people do. I lived on coffee and scotch. And
yeah, most people do that. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I worked too much, and I did everything to distract myself to not face how I felt. I was not willing to deal with my feelings.
You were just trying to numb what was going on.
Right. There's a million things going through your head, right? Some days you're angry, some days you're sad, some days you're indifferent, some days you're numb. And so there was a big turning point in my life when my sister, my aunt, my cousin came to my house, and they're like, this is not an intervention. This is a rebirth. This is a day to help you reinvent what you want and help realize the things that you deserve in life. There were hard things to listen to, right? Because even though you know and want to think the best of yourself, you know in the back of your mind the things that you need to work on. And so those things coming face to face were tough, but I think they were completely necessary because I emerged from this experience a very different person. And I set my intentions on the kind of person that I wanted to be for myself, to myself, and then to other people. Mm-hmm. And it changed everything. And I think it made me receptive to the right kind of love.
How long did it take you to get out of that place of hurt?
Oh gosh, probably over a year.
What helped you get out of that?
I did a lot of reading. I went to therapy. I made a commitment to myself to not explore any kind of frivolous relationships. That the next relationship that I would explore or be amenable to would be with someone that got my attention in the right way. I would say probably 6 months after I had made that commitment to myself, I ran into Aiden. And I took a gray world that was becoming colorful, and then one day it was bursting with just color and life. And I went,
That's beautiful.
That's interesting.
Did you know what you wanted, or it just sort of happened when you met Aiden?
I had no idea what I wanted. And that was really exciting for me, because before then I had very distinct ideas of what love was. Not necessarily that they were correct or true, just what I thought it should be.
What did you think it should be?
In this instance, I was vulnerable and open to whatever happened, which was an incredibly new experience for me. That's not something, that's not a state that I'm in often. Mm-hmm. So I met her, and, I saw her. I didn't even meet her yet. And then I ignored her for like 3 weeks.
That's the way we learned in high school, right?
Yeah.
How did you two meet? I mean, just context.
We met at my work.
Okay.
Like, my energy brushed against her energy one day, and I was like, oh, hey, hi. And she was like, yeah, I'm not talking to you. And I was wow.
What energy, though? Like, what? Like, is it just like...
No, just like that interpersonal energy. Just kind of like how, you know how, like, you meet somebody...
We could joke around pretty effortlessly.
Yes.
Best part of our relationship.
It's... Okay, that is 100%. Her throwing me under the bus.
All the time.
All the time. With my friends.
And vice versa.
Yes. Right? Timing matters.
I also have great puns, just in case everyone...
No, you have terrible puns.
Exactly, which makes them great.
Get out. Get out with your puns.
I'm excited for the freestyle.
No.
It'll be very punny.
No.
Aiden, what's the greatest lessons you've learned from your past that have given you your definition of love?
You know, kind of like Dr. Nichole said, she just picked that name so I could call her Doctor the whole night.
Yeah,
just so
she's enjoying it. I know she's enjoying this.
No, she did. She's smiling.
She is a doctor, by the way.
Yeah, she is a real
doctor. All the
doctor.
people wondering, she is a legitimate doctor.
Yep. Although the diploma hasn't come in yet.
Actually, it did. I just put it away.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She was waiting for weeks for this. Anyways.
The day that I got it, I was like, hey, I got my degree, and none of you even...
No, you didn't tell me.
You were sitting in the same kitchen that my parents were sitting in.
No, I was waiting for the cardboard. It
It
doesn't matter.
showed up.
You're getting off topic.
Bring it.
Continue, Aiden, please.
No one cares what you have to say.
He's going to keep that part.
No, he's not.
I might actually. All right, go. Just keep going.
For me, it was a lot of composition of different friendships, different, like, almost relationships. Like,
Yeah.
I had been on, like, several almost dates, you know, with a guy in my high school. You know, we grew up together. So it's like, but it never, you know, I think he expressed interest in me, and it was, like, fun to kind of play with it. And then, once he kind of expressed some real interest, I was like, oh, no, I can't. He was like, hey, just so you know, I feel, like, really good about where we could be heading. And I was a jerk at the time. I didn't really talk to him for a couple of weeks, and I got scared. Plain and simple.
That's a solid MO, though.
Yes, but...
I expressed interest, you got scared, you were like, yeah, I'm not talking to you.
Well,
so that's fair.
Yeah, see? So...
Aiden, like, what do you feel it is? Like, is it the way you were brought up? Were you brought up more conservative in that sense that you felt like...
I think I was scared because I didn't really feel the same feelings back. It was, like, it was fun to play, and once it got real, I was like, ooh, like, I don't know. Oh, TV timeout.
Dr. Nicole's raising her hand.
Okay, so...
Wait,
so,
can I call on you? No.
Yeah, please.
All right, call him Dr. Nicole.
Okay. I have a question then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so understanding that context, did it scare you in the same way, or did it scare you differently?
It scared me differently because...
Because you felt different, or because the context was different?
No, like, it was... Because I was scared then because I didn't feel the same way. And
Towards him?
Towards him.
Right.
Back then, yeah.
Okay.
And it scared me when I met you because I felt things that I'd never really felt before for another person.
Ah, so you felt scared because you did feel similar things that I was expressing.
Yes.
Oh,
and I feel like I did not ignore you.
No, you didn't. Well, I mean, you did tell me to go away for a little bit.
Quick. So was
was
Dr. Nichole, like, the feelings that she was expressing, was that the first time that what she was saying was making sense? Like, the way she was wording her feelings towards you, you were like, oh, damn, that's how I feel towards you, too.
For a long time, I denied it, but, I mean, eventually, yes. I grew up...
Can you describe those feelings? Like, is there words for how you felt towards her versus anybody else?
She was super interesting to me. Like, in a way that no one else had been. She's fun. She's very nice. She can talk to anyone. She's smart. She's clever. She's, you know, a whole bunch of things that were, you know, she has a way of making everyone feel involved. You know, even in that, like, you know, that's the tiny setting that we were in.
You were just picking that up from there.
Yeah, totally. And, you know, you could just see that that's how she is probably with everyone in her life.
What made you finally respond to it?
It's so cheesy, but, like, I didn't actually realize that I was gay.
Gotcha, okay.
I'm sure, like, on some unconscious whatever level you can say that, but, like...
She's really cute right now.
I'm sure my face is red, too.
It's actually not.
No, you're speaking your truth. This is so important.
Yeah, I mean, this is the raw truth.
I think that's important part of
it. Too, because there's people listening that are going to take something from what you two are saying. Like, you two might be the episode that makes someone feel comfortable or understand what they're feeling.
Right. And that's a big thing. I mean, you don't know how your relationship and how you just don't know how you are going to affect another person. That's why it's so important to, like I said, I'm the luckiest person in the world. I have someone who's humble, who's got this great personality, who can keep me in check, who's got just a funky sense of humor that makes me laugh every single day, drives me crazy, sets me on fire.
Then puts the fire out.
Then puts the fire out.
It's an important part. part.
Daughter of a firefighter, so the fire's got to be out.
It's true.
Challenges
that's real.
me to be better. And I think that's the thing that is so valuable is
that's
that
key.
And it's not like in a you did this or you did that or you need to be better. It's this very subtle, like we'll have these moments between us and she'll say things and be like, well, what about this? And it's never framed as a accusation, never framed as a challenge. It's always framed as a, if you think these things are important, how do we live this? How do we live these not expectations? How do we live these principles that we believe are important?
So I think the thing that Dr. Nichole has is she has a lot of experience living with another person in that kind of intimate relationship.
Gotcha.
I didn't. So I take a lot of the friendships that have been good and bad. What did I do wrong? And I take a lot of the, relationships with my parents, relationships with this guy.
all relationships.
And,
we have love in every relationship.
And take the good parts and the things that I sucked at, and I try to be better. And I try to be better almost every day. I think that works in our benefit, that we're constantly striving for self-growth, either that's intellectually, emotionally, spiritually.
Right, so it's kind of like that, almost that military mantra of, if you will, of shipmate self. Like, what's the best for the relationship? What is the best for each other? And then finally, what's the best thing for me, right? So you take care of the thing that takes care of us, right? So we take care of the relationship. And then the corollary to that is that we take care of each other. And then lastly, right, because it's selfless, we take care of ourselves. But that doesn't mean that we in any way ignore or abuse ourselves. It just means that selfless service is more reciprocal and participatory within the concept of that relationship and the valuation of each other. And it's amazing.
You two are very polar opposites in personality, but I see how it works. Aiden's just more focused on, she understands who you are, even beyond in ways that you understand who you are, because you're constantly in like this mode, like, all right, I gotta be on, and you may not even be paying attention to yourself as much.
Sure. I oftentimes forget about my own needs in favor of the things that need to be done.
Mm-hmm. And then on the flip side, like, you're good at making people feel comfortable, and that's what Aiden needs the most, like just someone just to make her feel completely comfortable. It's beautiful. I can see it. That's you guys are cute. You guys are cute.
Well, now you're gonna make her blush.
No.
All right. Well, I'm gonna make you blush a little more with this next question. So, all right. Describe the feeling of an orgasm.
Oh, I want you to go first.
No, you're going first.
Why? You should go first. I've gone first on everything else.
So what?
I'm curious. Come on.
No.
What's the first thing that happens?
I stay silent and we stay here for a long time.
Okay.
All of that is true.
All
Come
right.
on.
Answer the question.
Just Dr. Nichole, go. Come on, you gotta make Aiden feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Dude, come on. We just explained the dynamic.
We talked
and
about it.
We
just talked about it.
You have to make it happen this way. Come on. That's how you guys work. Let's go.
The thing that I always kind of connect with whenever I orgasm with you is I feel completely loved and accepted, and so I'm able to be vulnerable in a way that I'm probably not and probably should be more often. And I'm allowed a tenderness that I don't think people realize or understand, and I'm allowed a fragility that people don't expect of me.
It's true. She's a softie.
And I will deny that in person.
I'm not a softie.
And it's this feeling of complete acceptance in a way that transcends like a unilateral way of living. Like it allows me to explore so many things in like this very brief period of time. And I share that, I get to share it with you.
Before Aiden goes, that was like the most emotional description of an orgasm I've ever heard. The way you just described it is just more. There's just so much more to like the vulnerability behind it and just like the openness about it.
She's gonna be like, I like them.
They feel good.
I can use more words than that.
I like them a lot.
Dude, shut up. All right, go.
Yeah, stop talking.
Don't listen. Just let it be you, please.
It's interesting thinking about like the difference between our relationship to females and with the guy, and my experience before this is a lot of movies and the cutscenes and the jokes that guys last only a couple minutes, and there's a lot more room for a lot of emotional kind of processing that goes on. So I agree with her in a lot of it. Just a lot of that process it's almost a little microcosm of our relationship, like this encouragement to be vulnerable and kind of like fighting it a little bit, and then easing it a little bit more, and and then there's that really cool calming feeling at the end, and it's that constant almost surrender to that vulnerability to another person, and I think that's what's most challenging to me in some instances, not only from like a relational aspect.
Yeah.
Make no mistake.
There's
sometimes it's just like, you ready? Yeah. Okay.
What
Let's
is
go.
it?
No, like sometimes it's just like, you want a quickie, and you're like, yeah, let's hang it, let's do it, Okay, and off we go. So but I think if you stop and explain
what's a quickie?
he's like I'm speaking for all the men right now.
Like, I'm speaking for a heterosexual male. Like I don't understand. Like for me, a quickie
he's like
is
for all the guys who are jerking off to this exciting segment. So
cool.
But here's the thing. I think in a relationship you can totally have quickies, right? I think it's like, hey, I'm tired, but I also value how you feel, but I don't have like all the right energy to do the things that we would normally do. And so instead of taking the process that we would normally take, where it's kind of like slow and we ease into it, and it's like the things that we like, and we do the things that make us feel good,
gotcha.
we do the things that get us to the end point fastest. Are you okay?
That is a great way to put it.
She's like, also, I'm not going to talk to you for a week. That's terrible news.
That's not true. Yeah, I think just the things that get you there quickest, I guess.
I think that's the
can you guys go more into this?
Mondo, it usually involves a vibrator.
What's the vibrator?
Wow.
What is
a vibrator?
No.
No.
Because like, look. Listen.
Like, straight boys
No,
are
like
so silly.
in the first episode, we talked about the rabbit and the magic wand.
I don't even think she knows what those things are.
I know what a rabbit is, kind of.
It's like
I went to a bachelor
ears.
party once. It was awkward.
It was the worst experience of my time.
She's like, I had to wear penises around my neck, and that's when I knew it was gay. It was terrible.
No.
I hated life.
I knew I was gay before that.
She's like, I had to wear a penis on my head, and that was the worst part of that.
No. I think there were only penis ice cubes.
Doesn't make that story any better.
I have to wear it on my head.
No, that's fair.
That's true. Yeah.
That's fair.
And they melted, so they got.
Yeah, also fair.
Smaller.
Yeah, they got smaller. I don't want to say.
That's the wrong. No. We're trying to beef you up, yo.
You're right. It's not affecting me.
So what's the question about a vibrator?
So what kind of vibrator?
Yeah, I
Is that
mean,
what you're
just
asking?
like what's making the orgasms happen? Like,
Okay, so we actually have a vibrator by this company. It's a German company, because of course it is, because I did the research to see. It doesn't matter.
take notes, ladies.
So fun.com. And there are different versions. The one that we have has like a bunch of different speeds. It does a couple cool things. But the more important part for us is like if we're tired, but we still want to be intimate with one another.
Gotcha.
Like you can still do a little foreplay and then get to the point.
Right.
Okay. So it's just like.
So it's like there's nights where I'm like, honey, I love you.
I feel like girls take longer.
Sure.
No, they do.
So even our quickies are not that quick.
It's true, because then I get distracted, because I'm like, oh, hi, let's do this too. And you're like, what is wrong with you? Stay
It's
focus,
2 a.m.,
woman.
damn it.
And then I usually get in trouble.
I'm just saying your boobs are amazing.
Oh, God.
Can you edit that out, Mondo?
I'm probably going to leave that in. Sorry, dude.
Okay,
Sorry.
it's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
No, it's like sometimes. So here's the thing: we both work a lot. We both have additional obligations that have nothing to do with each other, but we still want to be intimate with each other. But sometimes it's like, I'm tired, she's tired. And so we have this additional thing that allows us to do the things that we want to do just at a faster pace, which is amazing. But seriously, ladies, fun.com, it's all about you. Yeah, so I think it's actually called Fun Factory. It is a German company, so you know their toys are legit.
Okay.
They're very well made. They can be used in the shower. They're all waterproof. Have fun.
Wow, okay. Great. All right, fun.com. All right, well, let's cut to a quick break. And when we get back, we're going to answer one question off of rawdogshow.com. rawdogshow.com.
Now you know why I had to go. I had to go. I still love you. I hope you know. I hope you know.
Well,
Also, yos.
You're going to say the O's?
And now time for a Raw Dog freestyle. Yo, here at the Raw Dog Show, showing you what you really don't know. Getting advice from the doctor. Yo, I need a doctor. Yo, I need a doctor. Dr. Nichole, I don't know, roll at the fire like a bag of coals and Aiden. A little shy, a little slide, a ride, a die,
right.
a relationship. It's lit with the comments, with the answers. Listen to the shit that you wish you learned on Mansers. Now I'm gonna pass it over to the doctor.
Yo, what is love? You say you don't wanna hurt me, but baby, I will. Baby, I am only human and I don't take you for less. I'm running, baby. I'm a mess. No ordinary love is what you want. Cause love is what I'm looking for. You know.
No.
Fast cars, all I got, baby. Fast car on the floor, in the back seat, in the back seat, in the back seat, in the back seat. Oh, looking up at the fire door.
No.
Where you run? Where you running from? Not run.
Ride dog.
Can't deny the truth. We were never meant to be. Sorry I had to leave. Sorry I had to leave.
And now we're back. This question comes off of the website, rawdogshow.com. And this question comes from Pluto. Hey, Pluto!
You're a planet to us.
How do you feel about swingers? Pro? Against? Would you ever consider? Why or why not? Biologically speaking, men want to have sex with multiple women because we have more sperm. We have more sperm to shoot out.
Technically, you have the only sperm to shoot out.
Right, but that's just the thing, right? You are thinking that you have the only sperm to shoot out when in reality she has many options.
When I think from an evolutionary perspective, you're probably right. But
Okay, wait.
How many eggs do women have?
No.
What's like the...
Tika, time out.
Millions, probably.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Thousands?
No, they have millions
Someone
of eggs.
check.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
so
I thought that
here's
was
the
right.
thing. No, you're right. Why is a penis head designed the way that it is?
I don't even know
This
why.
guy.
From an evolutionary standpoint?
So it could be
Fits in
a
the
soft
right
cushion
place.
as it goes inside the vagina.
No, it's designed to remove any remaining sperm from the vagina, so it has a better chance of ejaculating and
Are we
beating any other sperm.
Competing.
Is that
It's
circumcised or
competing male.
uncircumcised?
Regardless if a penis is circumcised or not, its biological design is that's why when you remove the sheath on a penis, there is that lip over the head. It's specifically designed on that in and out motion to remove anything that is on the walls of the vagina that may be a competing sperm from a different donor.
I am so mind blown.
So ejaculation actually doesn't give the male the best option for procreation.
When it
I like how
shoots
the
out-
lesbians are giving you a male
It
anatomy
do, because
lesson.
I'm looking at it different. I'm just looking at it as I'm going in. Like, it's just...
Sure.
So when the ejaculation happens, the mushroom opens up, so that pulsating motion, are you saying that's what the scientific...
It actually pulls it out. So there's two things
So
that
the
are
pulsating
happening.
is going this way.
Correct. From a biological perspective, on ejaculation, if you were to lay still for several seconds, you would increase your viability options for procreation.
All right, well, anyways, just back to the swinger part of it.
Swingers for us? No. That's not the defining, it's not part of our agreed upon relationship dynamic.
Yeah, but swingers for other people, more power to you.
For sure.
If that's what works in your relationship and you guys both decided on it, then...
So here's a fun fact. So I have a very good friend of mine that I've known for many, many years. He's been in an open relationship, and when that relationship kind of went to pieces because one of the women that was in it was like, yeah, I'd like to introduce a different dude. He was the one that actually made it weird.
That makes sense. Like if men's in a relationship and the woman wants to bring another girl in there, it's
good.
cool. Yeah, it's cool because
there's no competition.
Yeah, another vagina. There's no competition, but when it
But
comes to
how
another dude,
sexist is that? What do you mean there's no
it's because
competition?
dude, it's a competition. Like men,
She's
we're
always going to
competitive.
win.
No, she's not always gonna win.
Trust.
No, she's not.
Trust.
No, she's not.
Wait,
Trust.
what are we
No,
winning?
she's not. What's winning?
Yeah, what are we winning?
Best sex? Okay. Women bring many options to the table. Men bring a limited option to the table.
No, men bring the charm.
He's right. I think that guys are expected to have a certain level of charm and a certain level of machismo and a certain level of XYZ culturally placed on you. And it varies from culture to culture. I think that there is a certain there's a certain cultural perspective that drives men to seek more than one woman. I mean, you have ancient texts to back that up.
I think that there is very little history to back up what women want because historians have not cared what women want, desire, or needed.
I mean, yeah, because most historians are male. I mean,
Sure.
that makes sense. I mean, I get it in that sense.
But I think, okay, so let's throw down some truth, right? We always look at things that men want sex and women are doing everything to not have sex, right? So that's
I've never heard that.
that's a fairly common societal trope, right? Women will do anything to
but
get out of sex.
but say your truth. Don't say what society's looking at. Like,
No. These two things tie in together.
Okay,
so you have to understand the societal. No, okay, no,
I don't know.
okay.
All right, keep going. Keep going.
So the societal truth is that women do want sex.
Yeah,
and they
I
want
agree.
it often. And they may not want it with the same dude every single time.
It's
And that's a hard truth for men to accept.
But I think that it's more on how a person's built. Like for me, I'm like a one-person kid. I don't really have interest outside of that one monogamous relationship.
His perspective of how men look at sex and how women look at sex, I think we always look at women as going, no, we just want this one thing because we have all of these needs fulfilled, emotional and, psychological. But that's not necessarily true. There are some women who just want to fuck and then be like, yeah, I don't ever need to see you again. And I don't think we acknowledge that enough.
Let other people talk.
I mean, I'm thinking more in the sense that for women to have good sex, they need good intimacy. For us, an orgasm, it doesn't require like that intimacy and that deep connection. It could just be, an orgasm.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think women ever look for just orgasms?
No.
I was like,
you're
I don't
wrong.
think that intimacy and orgasm are synonymous.
No, but how? Okay.
And I think that trying to equate the two is probably where the hang-up goes. A little bit, at least in this conversation. Because
Sure.
I think that orgasm for a woman, they can be looking for that, and they can maybe not want an intimate relationship. They might just want...
An orgasm. Yeah.
They might just want to feel good. And I think that's something foreign for some guys.
I think for many guys, think there's a lot of things tied to it. But speaking from personal experience,
please, I mean, that's
as
what
well as knowing the group of people, excluding you, there are times when I'm just looking for sex. I don't want any intimacy. I just want to feel good. I've got an itch to scratch. And you know what? I don't probably ever want to see you again either.
But is the itch scratched with an orgasm or just with the
that's all it is.
I know, but what if the orgasm isn't reached? You still have that itch.
Oh, no. It's reached.
Are you hoping that she gets off as much as you get off? Or are you just focused 100% like, I don't care if she gets off.
My job is to get her off, and she's thinking the same thing. My job is to get her off.
That's different. See, for men, we're just, if it's just like a whatever hookup, we're just trying to get off ourselves. We don't care.
And there's plenty of times where I'm like, I just want to get off and I don't give a shit. Those are true things.
The mechanics are different.
But the mechanics are different.
It's a little
Because
more
at some
give and
point in
take.
time, it's just like, hey, just help me out. I got you.
Because it takes more involvement.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
I see.
It's not as passive.
No, it is not as passive. It
There
is
it goes, not as
completely, it is 100% an active means. So if you were to look at the median in terms of passivity or activity, okay. Science.
Doctor.
Science.
Please go.
Let's science this shit for a second, right? So if you were to
No, you're going to math it.
Yes, I am.
All right, please.
Whoa,
Continue.
math is 100% science.
All right,
Okay,
continue,
here we go.
continue,
So if
continue.
you were to look at these things in terms of activity and passivity, women are always viewed as passive, men are always viewed as active. However, that's not necessarily the case. In fact, the median would actually suggest, in scientifically, the median would 100% express the opposite. That in order for women to have sex that they want in which they orgasm, they need to be active participants, and men are actually receptive participants. They will do whatever they need to do to get the women off while getting themselves off. Because she is working towards an end, he gets an end.
Always look at it like men have just this ego of when it
Right,
comes
but-
to sex.
but
then
fine.
you also have an ego as well. Like in the
Sure,
sense
but I
of-
think that's always something that's overlooked. And men's ego is always taken into consideration, whereas the woman's ego is very rarely taken into
it's because
consideration.
men are more competitive. Like we want to always one up the next man.
Sure.
But I feel like it doesn't take a girl very hard to try.
That's what I'm
Get a
saying.
guy to...
It's like, with the exception of you, given the...
Careful.
Okay. That's why I was like choosing my next words carefully.
So all right, Aiden,
Okay.
all right, come on.
Given the right circumstances, taking someone home is not necessarily the most complicated adventure. Because it's literally a handshake agreement. It's like you proposition.
Mm-hmm.
They either accept or they don't.
How do you proposition?
Which direction she asked?
Yeah, I mean,
I
I'm just saying, like, for me, it's usually a couple drinks, some nice conversation, and it's like, hey, my intentions are clear. You're either on board or you're not. You either think that I am too aggressive and unsafe, or you think that I am intriguing and safe, right? Because that's what it comes down to, especially for women. And I think sex with men, I think men could be having more sex if they came off as being more safe. Because at the end of the day,
I can see
that's
that.
what women are looking for. If I have sex with this dude, am I going to end up in a dumpster somewhere? Right? Those are literally things women have to think about. It doesn't matter how cute they think you are. It doesn't matter how charming you come off. Like, there's a million things. But at the end of the day, straight women are like, yeah, I may want to sleep with this guy. Like, I may want to do, like, crazy shit with this dude.
So you're
But
thinking,
the first thing I have to think of is this dude gonna cut me up and put me in a body bag somewhere? Is he gonna like go put my, body pieces somewhere? Like, and this is like
people's first thoughts.
I can only speak to the women that I have counseled, that I have listened to, and their fears that they've talked about on first dates. Like, let's say we get to your house and then you turn out to be a psycho.
Can we?
Yes.
I feel like this has gotten really far off the topic of
Sure.
swingers.
No, I'm just saying, like, women want to be safe.
Yeah.
Men, if they want to have sex with these women, need to provide that aura of safety. Men would have more sex if they were able to provide
How
that
does a
safety.
man provide that aura of safety?
Don't come off as a creeper. You can come off as like a dude who just wants to have sex and
And not be an asshole.
and not be an asshole. You'd be like, dude, I just want to have sex. And there'll be some chick who'll be like, yeah, no, I'm in. That's what I want too.
Going back to like, it requires a certain level of charm. Like men have to develop a certain level of charm, and it's not necessarily classified as men and women. It's just like,
I think you're right. I mean, now looking at it holistically, I think you're right. I think men do require a certain amount of charm that women don't need, especially with each other, because there's already a certain amount of safety that's already implied, where there is a certain level of danger that is implied with men.
Because men, we develop charm over time, and we develop charm over a lot of rejection.
Right.
Back to the question real quick. Swingers.
Yes.
No.
For us, no.
Do it.
For us, no. For other people, yes.
Sure, if that's what you
Be
want,
honest
go
with your
for it.
partner.
Go
Just
for
be
it.
100% open, communication.
Yes.
Say
And
what
do
you
it.
want. If
And
they
do it.
accept it, they don't.
Yep.
Just do it.
And do it from the start. Don't wait 2 years and then say like, "Hey, I'd like to try out this new thing."
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's like a
Like laid out.
wow.
front
I
of
just wasted my time with you. Sort of deal.
So you're saying you wasted my time with me?
Huh?
I'm kidding. No.
That is our show for today. Dr. Nichole, Aiden, thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
thank you for letting Aiden be amazing on the
Stop
airwaves.
Stop it.
So to the people listening, all right, go ahead.
The lesbians are here to help the men
Stop
in
it.
any way we
Stop
can.
it. Stop it.
All right, to the people listening, keep submitting your questions on rawdogshow.com, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
I wait for an opportunity to escape. I don't belong here. Oh, I've got plans to take me miles away. Oh, I'm gonna get it someday. Now you know why I had to go. I had to go. I still love you. I hope you know. I hope you know. Can't deny the truth. We were never meant to be. Sorry I had to leave. Sorry I had to leave. You're always on my mind, by my side. Even when the road gets tough, you're enough. I don't know how I deserve you. You know I'll always keep on coming back to you. Always keep on coming back to you. Now you know why I had to go. I had to go. I still love you. I hope you know. I hope you know. Can't deny the truth. We were never meant to be. Sorry I had to leave. Sorry I had to leave. I've fallen on my knees to pray. Loving you is spiritual. You're my little miracle. When I'm with you, I found my faith. Yeah, you do something to me. You do something. Now you know why I had to go. I had to go. I still love you. I hope you know. I hope you know. Can't deny the truth. We were never meant to be. Sorry I had to leave. Sorry I had to leave.
Hey, Aiden, you are right.